see. This one had a huge flame yesterday, so let's see how it goes. Okay, not too bad. So this one is Palo Santo and violet. It smells delicious, you guys. So get your candle, your incense, tea, coffee, whatever your choice of drink is, and let's get into our books for this month. Hi, my name is Ashley Durden. I am a mother of 2 little boys, and my oldest is currently in unschooling / homeschooling. And so I am on a learning process of figuring out what that looks for us, what's best for him, and enjoying the journey with you all. But one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, even back before, I want to say like in 2020, 2021, was share some books, some children's books, because that is the age range of my kids. That helps start conversations at home that should be happening from the time they're little, and should be stacked upon or grown upon or discussed and further as they grow into teenhood and adulthood. I am an educator, I am an activist, I am a mentor for teens and for parents, but I also have kids. So a lot of parents that I talk to tend to have younger kids and aren't yet in the teen stage. So this is where I start. Literacy is everything. Literacy is knowledge. And so if you hear noise in the background, it's my son playing with his Legos. But yeah, literacy is knowledge. So everything begins with a book. Questions begin with a book. Understanding the world begins, all of our understanding begins through a book. So one of the things that helps me and kind of feels like it takes the heat off my plate. Is that a saying? It takes the weight off of my shoulders is one, getting us out of the house. So me and my son, we go to the library once a month, depending on what we need, and that also helps my money last longer, because I'm not trying to buy new books, tons of books. We do have our own collection. You know, we need some new books to kind of spice it up. So anyways, we got some books. I have 10 of them here. I will have the name and the title, the author, and everything written for future Ashley to put on here. But we will start with the first book. So the first one is A Garden in My Hands. And this is what it looks like. This one is very, very sweet. It is about a girl whose mother is applying henna, and she goes through, you know, the different designs and how it connects with her life experiences. It goes into the culture. It goes into, at the end of the book, it talks about the different reasons that one might get the henna done on their hands, sometimes even on their feet. It's called A Garden in My Hands. This one is called A Girl Can Build Anything, and this is one about having belief that you can do anything that you want to do, being able to see our girls building, using their hands, using tools, getting into creating. And it even talks about, like, what if something happens? What if it breaks? What if it collapses? What is the attitude you're gonna have? A little bit of self-esteem, a little bit of representation. So this one is a good one. A Girl Can Build Anything. The next one, Viva's Voice. This one is super cute. It is about Viva and her dad, who is a bus driver who is going on strike. And it talks about what going on strike means, why he's going on strike, because these are not getting paid the way they should be getting paid. I'm not gonna make any real world references right now about groups of people who are not being paid what they should be being paid, and they're on strike right now, but it's a real world situation like this. It talks about the union and very short in a kid-friendly way, and it talks about how to use your voice and just the different ways that people move through speaking up and using their voice, and how do they use their voice and in what way they can be empowered to use their voice when speaking up for themselves or for other people. So this is Viva's voice. Speaking of voices, there is I Have a Question. This is a really cute book. It's straight to the point. We got a kiddo who has a question in class, but then he thinks, what if my question is dumb? What if people make fun of me for asking a question? So for any parents who have the kiddo who's a little bit shy, who's a little bit timid and doesn't want to ask a question because they tend to either be very nervous about the response they might get, or they might be afraid of their peers making fun of them, this is a great book. Not being afraid to ask questions in class, especially if you're not understanding something or you want to learn even more. Ask your teacher, ask me, ask your family questions, and not to be afraid to, again, use your voice to add for curiosity, for knowledge, for a better understanding. So I have a question. So we're gonna get into feeling your emotions with I Am Okay to Feel. This is actually written by Karama Brown. And if you don't know, she's from Queer Eye, so a huge fan of the show Queer Eye. This is a book that he wrote with him and his son, and it's going through the different emotions that his son feels during a walk and how to feel your feelings. It even gives you a little bit of exercises to do in the back of the book, and how to move through emotions, and that it's normal and it's fine. This is I Am Okay to Feel. Okay, so one of the other books that we are gonna look at is Some Bodies. I have to say I love this book. This will probably be a book that we purchase to have at home, just because it is very, very inclusive. It talks and shows all different types of bodies, and it's not just body sizes. Usually when we think about that, we just think about body sizes. We're talking about like mobility, we're talking about skin color, we're talking about just all kinds of just different bodies that are carrying babies, bodies that run, bodies, that have changed, bodies that, stay the same. All kinds of different bodies depicted in different ways. It's such a beautiful book. So yeah, it just talks about all the different bodies, and that we're all beautiful, we're all precious, we're all amazing, and it is okay that your body does not look like somebody else's. It's perfectly fine. So, some bodies. Who doesn't love some time with grandpa, or, as my kids call their grandpa, boompa? This is an amazing and really, really cute book about a little girl hanging out with her grandpa. It's called Quiet Time with Messiah, and it is about a little girl who does not speak the same language as her grandpa, but that they communicate through love, through hugs, through laughter, and it takes you through the day of her hanging out with her Sia, and it gives you also some cultural references to Sinhalese. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Apologies. Sinhalese culture, and just what they do and the interaction they have, and how love can be shown even if you don't speak the same language. So super, super cute, and an introduction into another culture. Our next one is For Our Love of Mother Nature. It's called Nature is an Artist. This is a really cute book, especially for our younger kiddos. It goes through and talks about how Mother Nature is bomb.com, and she is an artist. How she paints the rivers, and she paints the oceans and the mountains, and then the kids also in the story start to believe and understand how to be their own artists. If you've started a garden or anything like that, or maybe started planting, we've actually planted potatoes with my kiddo, and talking about soil and talking about things. One of the big things we talk about is loving Mother Nature and everything that she's giving to us and how to give things back. I also have taught my kiddo to talk to trees, to give thanks to trees for their oxygen and Mother Nature in general. And so that is something that is in our normal practice, but I started with having a conversation of what trees give to us and why we should be thankful for them and that they are living. And you know, if that is not for your family's cup of tea, then you know, you don't have to sip on this one. You can pass it along to the next person. But definitely what I instill in my kiddos. So this is a cute book to get into. Okay, so from one activist to another activist, this book is, and how she is the girl who actually like was an activist on the different colors that are in the crown box. This is super cute, true story, true person, real person. And so this is definitely one of those to read to the kiddos, but especially for the older kids to kind of like research who she is, maybe even find some YouTube videos on her and discuss having accessibility to things and having and seeing yourself represented in things as simple as crowns is super important and beautiful. So yeah, this is More Than Peach. And the last one, and very beautiful one, and also a purchase for the books, is called Dear Black Child. And this is as it looks, a letter, a poem, a love poem, an encouragement to Black children and raising biracial boys. Super important for them to see themselves, to know that they're loved, to see their faces in the books and the stories that they read and the adventures and their hair color and their joy and their success. I feel like I have to say this just because of the times we're in, that even if your child is not African American or Black, you should definitely get this book, because for one family, this could be seeing themselves, and for another family, it could be showing love, appreciation, and understanding of someone else, even though they may look different. And so everyone, every family, every kid should be reading and have their hands on a book, and understanding and loving people who are the same or different as them. So Dear Black Child is definitely a buy for me. So these are the books that we have for this month, and so we got to return them back. But they are definitely easy to come up with activities, and definitely something that can be read to little kids, all elementary. And you know, these are for the younger kids. I haven't gotten into middle school yet. I'm gonna grow with my kids in that, so sorry for all my middle school, high school families. I don't have anything for y'all, but at least in book wise, for mentoring and everything, holler at your girl, because I do got you covered there. All right, with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.